MY.DESU email will be your official form of communication. All right, www. It is MY.DESU.EDU. Office of Financial Aid, Mr. Dorset, the online mobile account Campus Logic.
Yeah, so as Mr. McLemore mentioned, the first thing you want to do is confirm that we've received your FAFSA, your free application for federal student aid. So by going on that My.DESU, there's a financial aid tab. You can look under requirements, and that's the first piece where you confirm that we have received your FAFSA. If for any reason you've completed a FAFSA and you don't see it on that My.DESU, please contact the Office of Financial Aid immediately. Once you've confirmed that we've received your FAFSA, we push students, please go sign on the mobile account with Campus Logic. It's a third-party partnership, and we've created to help the process a lot more fast and efficient. Students go to DESU, verifymyfafsa.com. There, they'll sign in with their DSU email and their D number, and then create their account using their information. There, a student will see if the federal government has selected them for verification, what documents they need to supply, if there's any missing information as well or conflicting information that students need to process so that we can get their financial completed. Even for incoming students, in which we award with a tentative award, the award is not final until you've completed verification if you've been selected.
All right, and once your account is created, any required tasks you need to complete will become available as shown. And again, Mr. Dorset stated, this is very important. And of course, we utilize single sign-on. So whatever your username, which is your DESU email, and whatever password that you've actually used outside of that, at first it's your D number, but if you created a different password, that's your single sign-on for all items related to Delaware State University, okay? Very important. All right, Office of Financial Aid, what is the difference between the financial aid that's been applied to my account and financial aid that has been paid to my account?
So all students coming in, we actually apply, which is a temporary application of funds to your account, which shows student accounts that you have enough funds to pay towards your bill. That's where a student gets cleared for their FastPass, and the final steps where student account says, hey, the student has enough funds to cover their balance and everything's good for them to go. Financial aid does not actually pay out until about the third week of the semester after a no-show process as well as the add and drop process is over. That no-show process is very key for professors to indicate that students have been attending their classes and all their classes, because federal aid as well as state aid is provided to a student for them to attend classes. So students want to make sure that they attend all their classes. However, as we said, the application is there to show that there are funds to pay the bill, and then once the no-show process and the drop process is over, those funds will actually be paid towards the bill.
All right, and again, when will my financial aid pay to my account? Financial aid funds are not paid to a student's bill until after our requirements have been satisfied. And our requirements, of course, will be the official high school transcript that's been submitted. Any documentation that's required in the financial aid office to complete the process, and of course, as he stated, being confirmed through the no-show, meaning that you are here and committed for the academic semester, as well as the academic year process, as mentioned by the Office of Records and Registration for that no-show. How do I contact for general questions for the Office of Financial Aid? Please contact us at faid@desu.edu. And of course, we look forward to hearing from you. All right, and the Office of Student Accounts, let's go through that real fast.
All right, the banner self-service, making a payment, right? We're talking about FastPass, and one of the requirements for receiving a FastPass is securing your financial obligations. This is a quick snapshot of how the student can walk through and make a payment. You want to access MY.DESU.EDU, banner self-service login. How to submit a payment. Students simply, like I said, you want to visit MY.DESU.EDU. You want to click on the banner self-service link. From there, you want to log into the self-service using your D number and your unique PIN. You want to then click on the Student Services tab, and then click on Nelnet Payment Portal link. Once you're on there, you want to select View and Pay Accounts, as you see in the image there. Now, if you're a new student, you're looking to pay your new student orientation fee and or a returning student for your tuition, you want to select View Account Details, and then from there, you want to select Make a Payment. If you want to pay your housing deposit, you will go to select Traditional Housing Deposit, and that's how you submit a payment.
All right. And Department of Housing and Residential Education, but of course I'll bring up Dr. Buxton Senior Associate Vice President of Student Affairs, to bring greetings on behalf of Department of Housing and Residential Education before Mr. Home. Dr. Buxton, are you there?
I'm here, sure, no problem. Thank you, Kareem. So we are excited to welcome students back in the fall. We had a great year last year, and so we are looking forward to having an even better year this year from as it relates to housing and your experiences in the residence halls, and also as it relates to student activities. So Philip is going to talk with you a little bit about housing and residential education and where we are in the assignments process and what that could look like for you, where some of the potential holdups could be. And then our newly minted Dr. Kiana Hunchins, she'll talk to you a little bit about student activities as well. So I'll let those folks take the next few minutes to talk through those things, and we'll also be available for questions once the entire presentation ends. Okay.
Thank you much. All right,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Philip Holmes.
Yes, thank you. As stated, we are excited about bringing students back to our campus in the fall. Your residential students will be moving in from Monday, August 23rd through Saturday, August 28th. Okay, we've spread that out for you just to give you a better experience, less traffic, and more attention to you when you do move in. Okay. Please arrive to the residence halls between 9 and 4:30. I say that because it's best to get here during business hours to make sure that you are cleared, to make sure that everything is straight before you get to our residential hall desk. Okay, once you get there, we want to be able to just do the paperwork quickly, hand you a key, and get you moved in properly. Okay, mind you, there will be no Sunday move-in, so you want to make sure you handle everything prior to that day. Now, please pay attention to your DSU email. As stated earlier, this is the way we're going to communicate with you at all times when it comes to any pertinent information that might be sent to you. Now, as moving day gets closer, we are definitely going to be sending you some more information, making sure that you are aware, if you're not already aware, of when exactly you're going to be moving in. As stated earlier, the move-in day definitely depends on which building you are moving in, and that will tell you what day you're supposed to arrive, okay? We're trying our best not to change those dates, but there are certain accommodations that we can have if you ask us via email. Okay, now as far as what you can bring and what you can't bring, that is definitely on our website, but I will say this, due to recent times, we are allowing a small refrigerator in a student's room. So that is something a little different, especially for our freshmen in Evers Hall, Jenkins Hall towers. So you can have a small, very small refrigerator in your room. Okay, but for the multitude of other things that you can and what you can't bring, make sure you go to our website and find those items out. Okay. As far as assigning, right now we are doing our best to assign as many students as possible. Again, we communicate through your DSU email. Right now, some students have been offered some alternatives. You might not get your first choice, but we will, and I'm happy to say that we can give you a place to live on campus, okay? As you know, we've expanded to our DSU downtown area. That is our campus. So we're all one right now. So if we offer you something there, I'm excited to be able to do so. Okay, so we can say that we're going to give everyone a place to live, and that's a good thing. Okay, again, contact us at housing@DESU.EDU, or definitely give us a phone call at 302-857-6326, and we'll do our best to get some answers to you. We're answering a lot of emails and taking a lot of phone calls right now, but we're working through them all. I understand the time's getting closer, so you might be getting a little antsy. I get that, but we're definitely going to be able to offer you some housing at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Appreciate the information. And now, Office of Student Leadership and Activities, Ms. Kiana Hutchins, to discuss welcome days. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Hello, students and parents. So students, as you prepare to return back to campus, please know that we are planning to have many of the signature programs and events that you all want and of course love for the fall semester. For our new students, including our Wesley Legacy students, we will begin with welcome days. So before I get into all of the details that you see here as it pertains to welcome days, I do want to acknowledge the class of 2025 and the name that you have been given by your Student Government Association, which is Dream Chasers. So every year, the SGA names the incoming freshman class, and this year's class of 25, whew, can't even fathom, class of 25, right? You are the Dream Chasers. So that is the name that will stick with you throughout your time here at DSU, and even once you go on to graduate, you are known as the Dream Chasers. So just getting into welcome days a little bit, we will officially begin programming on August 26th. Programming will go through the 29th. As far as the events that we have planned for all of you, we'll have 2 primary buzz sessions that you will have to attend. These are mandatory. The Office of Student Success and your student leaders, your SGA, will host those buzz sessions. Then we get into the swarm. This is an event where you will see the band perform. You'll hear from our international students. You'll hear from our president, Dr. Allen. You'll get to meet all of our coaching staff and also meet the various teams here at the university. It's really an exciting welcome first kickoff activity that we have scheduled for the evening of August 26th. Also very important, all of our new students will engage in community service. This is something new that we'll be doing this year with Welcome Days. We look forward to having all of our new students engage in several community service projects that will take place on main campus and also at our downtown campus. These community service efforts will also spread to many of the local agencies. So having our students out there engaged in the community is really going to be a highlight of Welcome Days. And then for any of our new students who are interested in serving as a freshman class officer, there will be a freshman election interest meeting on Saturday. Also, something that's going to be exciting and new to this year's Welcome Days is our swarm challenges. So all of our new students are grouped in 4 swarms, swarms A, B, C, and D. And we are putting together a series of friendly competitions for our swarms to engage in. We have dodgeball, basketball, laser tag, and paintball. The induction ceremony is also scheduled for Welcome Days, in which you will officially be inducted into the Hornet family. And then the lock-in, which is something that all of our new students look forward to. That's happening on Saturday night. You get to see performances from many of our registered student organizations. And then to conclude Welcome Days, but to also kick off I Love DSU Week, which happens right after Welcome Days, we have our I Love DSU Carnival scheduled to happen on Sunday, the 29th. And again, as I mentioned, the carnival does kick off I Love DSU Week. The Campus Activities Board is currently working on some really exciting and fun events for students during I Love DSU Week. Most importantly, I'm sure that many of you want to hear, we are planning that first party for all of our students to occur on that Saturday, September 4th. And then right after that, for all of our Wesley Legacy students, please just keep your ears and eyes open because we are also going to plan some events that are specifically tailored to our Wesley Legacy group. So we have a lot of exciting and fun events coming up for the fall semester, but definitely getting all of that started with Welcome Days. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiana. Thank you, Jasmine, and thank you, everyone. And I know that there are many of you that have questions We'll try to answer as many of those we possibly can that we have here. So looking forward to serving our parents and students that we have. So, Mr. McLemore, final high
Yes.
school transcripts. Why is that
We must-
important?
Final high school transcripts. Final high school transcripts are very important. Without them, you will not be able to receive Title IV funding, which is financial aid that Mr. Dorsett and his team actually provides on your behalf. Very, very important.
All right. And this is a move-in question that we have. Hey, Philip, how many folks can they bring with them when they're moving into campus? I know you said a limited number. How many folks can they bring during move-in?
We'd like them to be able to bring 2 people with them. I understand there's some exceptions, maybe if there's another brother or sister, or we can't bring the whole family with you, is what we're saying.
Okay. All right.
So up to 2.
Okay, we have that one out the way. Is GC Mochi still here with us?
Yes.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good. We have well, we may take this one offline and we will respond to the parents that have asked 2 COVID questions that are there. We will certainly respond to you offline as it is. Is there a WebEx link for financial aid, Mr. McLemore, Mr. Dorsett?
There is a WebEx link for the financial aid office. There's also where students can make appointments as well. So students can go to the financial aid webpage, Delaware State University financial aid webpage, and there's the WebEx links, but students can also make an appointment with a financial aid counselor.
Okay. Mr. McLemore, can you guys drop that in the chat so parents can have access to the link and where to go to do what Mr. Dorsett just said?
I don't have access to the chat, but if we can get somebody to drop it in one of the panelists.
Okay, we'll take care of that.
Okay.
All right. Another housing. If I'm having trouble verifying my FAFSA to receive it, who do I contact?
Contact the Office of Financial Aid. You can email us the WebEx link, or you can make an appointment with one of the financial aid counselors. Again, to verify that we received the FAFSA, students can go on the MY.DESU webpage under the financial aid tab, and under requirements will show a FAFSA. If there is no FAFSA there, we have not received it, but definitely contact us through one of those 3 ways.
And the best way to access the financial aid webpage, go to DESU.EDU, click on admissions, and on the left-hand side, you will see financial aid, tuition, and fees, but make sure you click on the financial aid tab, and it will give you access to the financial aid page and see everything that Mr. Dorsett is speaking of.
Okay, thank you very much. How soon will we get a FastPass?
FastPass will be distributed the Friday before the 23rd, so that is August the 20th, the afternoon of August the 20th.
So please make sure you have turned in all requirements, submitted all the appropriate information to be on schedule to receive your FastPass.
All right, thank you, Dean Buxton, for putting the link in there for parents and students. You see the link been dropped in blue. You can certainly click that and that will take you where you should be. To our scholarship persons, do our community service hours count towards our scholarship requirement?
Yes, all academic merit and Inspire recipients are required to complete community service each semester, but we do have a director of academic compliance and strategic enrollment management, Dr. Travis Sutler, and he will be responsible for navigating all students who are required for community service through that process. So yes, you are required for community service.
Yeah. For Inspire Scholars, you're going to apply the Inspire Scholarship. When is that going to be applied and to help students for the fall of the year?
All Inspire scholarships have already been applied, and as each student gets admitted and we receive their FAFSA, every day new scholarships get applied.
Love that question. And also, students, be mindful, 12 credit hours or more, which is full-time status, but of course, 12 credit hours or more for the Inspire. And if you're an academic merit scholar, 15 credit hours or more. So even if you're an Inspire recipient, we really look forward to you taking 15 credit hours each semester.
All right. Also to parents and students in the chat, please be sure if you put a chat in, Just look to ensure if you're getting a private response from many of the panelists, they're answering your questions that we won't answer in the group. So just be sure to look back in the chat to ensure that if you get a private response that you also deal with that. When will DC CAP scholarships be applied to one's account?
DC CAP scholarships are currently being applied. Students should remember that we need the DC CAP award letter. So students get that DC CAP award letter and we have their FAFSA, we start applying those scholarships.
Mr. Dorset, is there any information related to DC CAP that they have to do to ensure they get the DC tag information in as well?
DC CAP tag letters need to be submitted to Delaware State University as well as students for DC CAP and DC tag need to make sure they contact both organizations to confirm enrollment, because you may have an award letter, but if you don't follow up and do enrollment confirmation with both, they will not include you on their roster. So students need to be sure, one, give us the award letter, but also follow up both organizations and make sure you confirm enrollment.
And if you're unsure, make sure you connect with your DC CAP advisor to help you navigate that process.
All right. Can you repeat one more time the FastPass requirements?
Certainly. If you're a new incoming freshman, we need your final official transcript with the graduation date, health forms, we need your COVID vaccination, a negative COVID test result 5 to 7 days prior to your move-in, and also satisfy your financial obligations.
Okay. And I'm just trying to read as fast as others are typing. Many of you that you may not get a direct response today, you will get a written response back or a request to send your information over privately. So please be aware of that. Go ahead.
Sure, this is Jasmine Buxton. I just want to answer a couple of general housing questions that seem to be popping up in the chat as it relates to their assignment. When you receive an assignment, you'll get an email immediately following that assignment. If you apply for something, Tubman Laws Village, Courtyard, or some of those types of buildings, there may be a holdup from a student accounts perspective. And so you want to make sure you contact student accounts to get that information cleared up. We do not have any room in UCY or the Village, but like Philip said earlier, we have abundant amount of space on our DSU downtown campus, and we can also similarly make different accommodations for you here on main campus. So please look for your email. Housing sent out an email on Friday regarding where we were with assignments, and so please just kind of check your DSU email or your junk mail, and certainly contact any of us. You can email me directly. My email is jbuxton, jbuxton @DESU.edu. Had a brain freeze for a moment, but go ahead and email me directly, and we can make sure we answer your questions on a case by case.
And Dean Buxton, if you'll drop that in the chat as well, so they'll have that, your email address, that'll be helpful as well too. Thank you very, very much for that. Brother Philip, can I just get me a room in Tubman Laws? I want one of the suites on the top left and the single room suites. Is that possible or not available for me? Okay, not a problem. Sure. To Dean Buxton, that's exactly where we are. Are you looking for RAs, Brother Holmes?
We did open that up probably about 2 weeks ago. We've kind of cut that off because we got an influx of applications sent out. So currently we have enough applications.
Okay. I'm trying to read through here. And any other members of our panelists that see questions that we may have not gone through, please. There, FastPass, we've answered that.
Oh, there's another question. So yes, from a housing perspective, everyone will have a roommate this year. We are trying to get to as close back to normal as possible. So with the expectation or the requirement that students will be vaccinated, then you will be assigned a roommate, and with the understanding that you and your roommate will be vaccinated at some point. So what Ms. Moultrie had said earlier, there's an expectation that you have at least one COVID vaccination dose before you arrive to campus, because that will allow you to move in. And then we have vaccination clinics on campus twice a week, so you can get your second dose before this deadline, right? So that your non-vaccination status will affect a lot of things that happen here on campus. So you want to make sure that you either come with two or be prepared for your second shot when you arrive. And then for those, since we are open relatively for the vaccination side, if you think you may not be able to get a vaccination before you arrive, just please come to our campus on Tuesday or Friday to get that, so you'll be all set for move-in.
There will be shuttle service for our students, and yes, we'll have shuttle service not only between our campuses, but we do have a regular scheduled route for that, and we'll make sure that students receive a copy of that information for those answering the 4 bus shuttle questions that you have.
Here's one for you. Are there any protocols my parent needs to follow when coming on campus to make a payment to address my bill this week?
Yes. The protocols is prior to you coming on campus, of course, you have to do the campus shield for a visitor in order to even access being on campus. The moment you come to the administration building. On the front of the door, there's a lobby central QR code. The moment you scan the QR code, it takes you into lobby central and you state what you're coming to the building for. And there's always someone ready to service you at the door to bring you in and take you to the appropriate station.
Okay. For General Counsel Moultrie, if vaccines are being mandated, why is the decision has not been required for masks to be worn for everyone, especially since cases are rising?
Thank you for that question. We know from the information that we're receiving that, most of the COVID positive cases, especially with the Delta variant, are attributable to those individuals who are unvaccinated. The university at this point is trying to be very measured. We want to make sure that to the extent that we can relax some of our policies for our students that are fully vaccinated, we're doing so. So at this time, the decision's been made to allow fully vaccinated people who are on our campus to go without their masks. However, anyone who's unvaccinated because they have an approved exemption, they need to wear their mask at all times.
Yeah, did you graduate from high school this past year? Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Mr. Ball, is anyone?
Okay, well, I thought I was hearing someone else asking questions there. As we read through the chat, roommate, field options. Okay. All right. And the part of me trying to read as quickly as I can as well too, but parent. That takes care of the parent question.
What about Hornet ambassadors who haven't received housing yet?
If a Hornet ambassador hasn't received housing, then the recommendation is that they make sure that they've paid their deposit, that they receive the application link, that they don't have a balance in their account, that they've registered for classes, that they've secured a payment plan, and all those different types of things. So there's multiple steps, and we recognize 100 ambassadors are returning students. So they're just a reminder of some of the things you would normally do in any other year. And once we get all those things settled, then you'll have an opportunity to receive housing. We have plenty of housing for you. Don't worry about it. But just make sure you have some of those other pieces in place, because any type of hold will prohibit you from being able to apply for housing. So make sure you have all those things straightened out, and then just send myself or Mr. Holmes an email.
When will you get the schedule for work study?
Is that for incoming freshmen or continuing students? Because there's a difference, right?
Right, so incoming freshmen aren't eligible for work study until they've completed 1 semester at Delaware State University and have a 2.0 GPA or higher. For returning students, if they go to the Employment Center, they'll see a list of different positions open. They would apply for those positions, and then they will be contacted by the supervisor of that department for an interview.
Can we have General Counsel Moultrie? I think there's one area you need to address.
Yes, I do. So with regard to my response related to mask mandates, I just want to reiterate where we are. Masks are required for
everyone indoors, whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated. The carve out is when you're outside, if you are fully vaccinated, feel free to remove your mask. So I just want to make sure that everyone's clear that when you are indoors, you need to have your mask on and you need to be wearing it properly. One other piece, we have received a few questions about former Wesley students that have now joined DSU and how they go about submitting their documents. You submit your documents just like every other Hornet. Please go to the student portal, submit your either your vaccine form or your fully completed exemption forms, and we will review those and get back to you.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for your work today. Thank you very much for the information shared. For many of you students and parents that may have sent some stuff either privately or sent questions that we've had multiple answers, we will provide additional answers to students to ensure that you have the information that you need. Okay. We thank you very, very much for a good session today, and we look forward to serving you in the coming weeks. Again, if you have questions that were not answered, you will get an email back from us or contact in terms of the general question answers following this session. Brother McMillan?
Oh, okay, thank you very much, everyone, and enjoy your day.